Stay tuned for the Splash Live. It's time for the Splash Live from Civic Center TV, featuring stories from and about people like you in the Greater West Bloomfield area. Simulcast on cable, 89.3 Lakes FM, social media, and the web. Now live from Green Media Center on Walnut Lake Road, it's the Splash Live.
Live, local, social, it's the Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. I'm Tyler Keefe, thanking you for joining us after what hopefully was a fantastic Thanksgiving Day and Thanksgiving weekend for you and yours all across the Greater West Bloomfield area. That was certainly the case. A fantastic weekend kicked off really on Friday afternoon and evening for the Orchard Lake St. Mary's Eaglets faithful. Of course, they made their way to the MHSAA State Championship game after a win the weekend before Thanksgiving at West Bloomfield High School against Birmingham Groves and took on Byron Center, who was in their very first state title game on Friday night. The Eaglets ultimately defeated Byron Center 35-19 in order to take home the MHSAA Division II State Championship. This was a valiant effort from the Eaglets, who were down early on in the game, kind of had to fight and claw their way back. They were down 13-7 at one point, ended up taking a 14-13 lead, and the turning point came early on in the second half. A fumble that was recovered by Kyrie Williams took them all the way down to the 3-yard line of Byron Center, where ultimately it was a running back dive into the end zone for a touchdown that put them up 21-13, and that lead sustained all throughout the remainder of the game. Darren Jones, the big-time performer for the Eaglets on Friday night, 181 yards rushing on 21 carries, and that's out of the nearly 400 yards on the ground Orchard Lake St. Mary's accumulated in the MHSAA Division II State Championship game at Ford Field. They had a great game out there, a really interesting game on Thursday between the Detroit Lions and the Chicago Bears. Got even more interesting for us here in Greater West Bloomfield on Friday night. So congratulations to the Eaglets, 2 big prestige sports championships in 1 year, with the boys winning the state championship in basketball in 2023-24 back in March, and then now the football team winning the MHSAA Division II state title game. This was their first championship victory since 2016, when they got their third of 3 consecutive Division III state championships. Now Coach Jermaine Gonzalez and the Eaglets taking home the title once again, bringing it back to Greater West Bloomfield, a community not unfamiliar with some state championship victories. At West Bloomfield High School, some of the most beloved athletes aren't senior students, but rather senior citizens who have started a walking group that's sustained for over 40 years, keeping them fit and keeping them connected to their very good friends.
Well, being together, it is important. And we are joining together and we are communicating together. So it is a friendship.
Part of it is just so we have people to talk to and keep that going. And we make an effort to do that because it is encouragement.
I look forward to it. I've known these guys for a long time. And as long as we are able physically to get here, I continue to be looking forward to it.
The Walkers have also become a beloved part of the high school community, drawing the love and admiration of Laker Nation.
We've welcomed our Walkers in our building for much longer than I've been here, And their interactions with our community, our staff, our students have always been positive. They, they're really a fabric of what we do here in the school.
We have a bond now. We have a relationship with each other. It's great. Every time they come, hi Rita. This, that, spark conversation. It's awesome just to interact with them guys every day.
I appreciate the fact that we are able to get into the school. We also spend some time talking to the teachers, the custodians. We see people like you, like we've talked to you, and so you get a smile and talk.
The school is a good place, and people are nice, and the exercise is beneficial to me and to them as well, and I think all of us enjoy doing it.
These friendships have extended beyond their up to 6 days per week trek around this school. Not just a group, but more of an extended family that cares for one another.
It is important when we have a problem, we can get help from anyone. And this is very important, especially that we are getting older.
Oh, just getting the information from each other about what activities we've had and how things are going with our lives, and discuss it either from a humorous point of view or a serious point.
Their relationships and their positive attitude provides a sense of inspiration, both to each other and to their beloved Laker community.
I would love to see this continue for as long as our school is upright. Whether it's them or new friends that join them, and to keep it open for our community.
Just keep up the good work. Don't stop. No, don't stop.
A great story from over at West Bloomfield High School. As I was able to talk to these gentlemen and so many others around them, there's nothing but positive energy from everybody involved. The custodians had big smiles on their faces whenever these gentlemen would approach them on their daily walks. And same goes for faculty. Buddy Mylart, the robotics team coach at West Bloomfield High School, had a long conversation with them in the hallway, shared some laughs, and we heard from many in that group that they support those organizations, and they're helping with the kids and with the teachers in that school as well. So a really supportive environment, only better fostered by these gentlemen who've been doing their walks at West Bloomfield High School for over 40 years. What a great story from at our very own high school on Orchard Lake Road. The holiday spirit is here in Greater West Bloomfield as well, and they're making their way to the prettiest little city in Michigan, taking place Friday, December 6th from 6 to 8 p.m. at the Community Center. Free pizza and salad from Gino's, and celebrating both Christmas and Hanukkah with appearances from Santa Claus himself at 6:30 and a tree and menorah lighting both at 7:30. The Sylvan Lake Holiday Festival kicking off on Friday night as Sylvan Lake gets into the holiday spirit and spruces up the Community Center with all the holiday cheer that you'll be able to see over the coming weeks as we wrap up a very busy and hectic 2024 year with some positivity and getting together as a community. Again, that is going to be on Friday night from 6 until 8 p.m. at the Sylvan Lake Community Center. For more information on this and other goings-on in the city of Sylvan Lake, you can visit their website on sylvanlake.org. Plenty more family fun coming up, this time out in the elements and under the stars. The winter solstice, while it feels like winter, is already here. Technically, not quite there just yet, but West Bloomfield Parks will bring in the celebration with you and yours on December 19th, beginning at 5 p.m. at the Recreation Activity Center. It's a self-guided, half-mile lantern-lit trail, a walk alongside family-friendly activities, glowing crafts, marshmallow roasting, and a visit as well from the Oakland Astronomy Club, some telescope viewing if the weather should permit itself on that particular evening. You're encouraged to register in advance, and all participants must be at least 3 years old in order to participate in this event through West Bloomfield Parks. Bring your flashlight, bring a lantern, and of course, they suggest if you want to get in with some of the younger kids, maybe register for one of those earlier times. Registration is open as we speak on wbparks.org, and of course, you can always keep up to date with the latest events and other fun stuff happening through West Bloomfield Parks on WB Parks on Facebook as well. The fall sports season are over now that football has completed over the past weekend. Now we move on to basketball season. And here in Greater West Bloomfield, we've got prolific teams on both the girls and the boys side of basketball, including over at West Bloomfield High School, where a deep playoff run in 2023-24 hopes to be answered with an even deeper run in 24-25 for the West Bloomfield Lakers boys varsity basketball team. Joining me for a preview of their season already underway is their head coach, Arnett Jordan. Thank you so much for being with us, Coach.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, glad to have you on as you've already started your 2024-25 season. And bouncing back from a year ago is really where I want to start this conversation, because it was a season with a lot of momentum that, look, didn't end the way that you wanted it to, but there's so many positives that came out of that last season. How have you and the staff and your returning players in 2024-25 used that as fuel to get off to hopefully a hot start in the coming weeks as you begin the season?
Well, we shared the title with North Farmington, and with my returning team, I wanted them to just understand, like, we can go back to back to back OAA titles. They're motivated for it. We've been preparing all summer. We've been preparing all fall league, and we're just ready to have a successful season. Our first game didn't go quite like we planned, but we usually have a snafu every once in a while in the beginning of the season. But that's going to prepare us for a tough OAA team.
And sometimes that can be a good thing to have things not quite go your way early on in the season, those first couple of games, work the kinks out and start to kind of build that team chemistry. So what was your message after that early season loss that came to U of D Jesuit? Not the way, as you said, you wanted to start off the season, but plenty to learn from that experience.
Yes, so I like it because it's kind of humbling. And then once they're humble, they're able to listen and understand that, one, we don't know it all. And if we could just practice and prepare, that's the recipe for our winning streaks and how we win. Guys have to take every game one game at a time and follow the scouting report. That's why it's kind of hard early on in the season, because you don't have a scouting report, because kids in schools are just starting to play. But once you settle in, start paying attention to the scouting report, follow it, and do what me and my coaching staff are asking them to do.
Arnett Jordan is with us. He's the head coach of the West Bloomfield Lakers boys varsity basketball team, whose season now already underway here in West Bloomfield Township after a long playoff run last season that saw them get all the way to the boys basketball district finals, where they did end up being eliminated by the eventual champions right down the road in Orchard Lake St. Mary's. Coach Jordan, as you begin this season and you look towards some of the leaders on your team, who do you think, when people go to these games at West Bloomfield High School, or better yet, even travel with your team across the OAA this season, who are you looking forward to being kind of those players that maybe surprise some people and have a big impact on the Lakers on the floor in 2025?
I'm sure we'll be led by our seniors, Brendan Jones and Corey Pittman. But we also have some exciting juniors in Curtis Britton and Terry Lowe. You'll see a mixture of hard play talent. We're deep in guards. So you'll see a lot of mix-up, with artists coming into the game off the bench, and Jamad, who is also a senior. But you'll come in, you'll see a little bit from everybody, and that's how it's been. We haven't had just one star to lean on. We are a team effort. If everybody gives their effort and what we need from them, then we should be successful.
And that's something we've seen in past seasons under your head coaching tenure here at West Bloomfield High School. You've had some stars, you've had some big stars on your team, but you've also had a lot of role players that really fit their defined place on that team well and make everybody else better. How does that sort of work toward the identity that you hope to have for your team overall as you run this program, but especially as we're early on this basketball season?
One of the things my staff and we preach is teamwork and togetherness. So kids know that they have a chance to play. If you give maximum effort, you'll have a chance to play. So they're just excited to get on the court. And, we preach as a staff, once you get in, try to give us something positive. So all of our kids, when they check into the game and when they start, it's been preached, and they focus on do what I do best to help the team. And that collectively, we will be successful if they do that.
Coach Arnett Jordan is with us. He is the head coach of the West Bloomfield Lakers boys varsity basketball team as their season is now underway over at West Bloomfield High School. And Coach, it's a long season. It begins in December. The regular season runs all the way through February. And if you do things the right way, you're going to be playing well into early portions of March. And so as you build this season, as you get ready for the bulk of the season ahead, now what message do you have to your players as they go through those early season jitters, both together and individually, to keep them on track for ultimately a successful season that leads you to extra basketball?
So what we preach, me and my staff, we preach every day we come in to get better. I've put a tough schedule, like I do every year, a tough schedule for the kids to work on getting better because it's all about getting to that state tournament. This year, the district is at West Bloomfield. So I think it puts us in position to take care of our business if we just work towards the goal of getting better as a team every week.
Coach Arnett Jordan is with us. You can find more information on the West Bloomfield boys varsity basketball team and follow along with their schedule all season on westbloomfieldathletics.com. And as I said, it's a long season. It's already underway. Some of your games are only a couple days apart. Sometimes you got a little bit of a break and you get those weeks in between these games. So how do you balance that? Because on one hand, you have that short turnover that can not provide a lot of rest during a tough schedule. But on the other hand, those long lulls can maybe take away from the momentum. I think that builds a pretty interesting dynamic for preparation too.
Yeah, we play, especially towards the Christmas break. It's like we almost play every day. And then we have those where we have a week off. But also, I like those weeks off because we're able to tend to injuries or look and find, watch tape, see what we need to work on, and then we get in the gym and work on it. So it helps. I look at it as a positive because it gives us time to get better healthy, and also to figure out what we're doing wrong on the things that we're doing wrong on.
And one thing I've seen that as I look through your schedule and through schedules of other local basketball teams across the state in 2024 and even in past years, a lot more of these tournaments and these showcases are popping up that allow you not only play really competitive teams and sort of test your ball club out, but also get to see some other teams and their style of play as well. What has that brought, especially in recent years as these have become more commonplace, to programs like West Bloomfield and its players in their development?
Well, I'll say this. I like to play in those tournaments because obviously the competition is tough, but also it's a place where I know college coaches will be, and they'll be able to look at our kids and maybe offer them a scholarship. So when you can get that a lot amount of talent in one building, then I know the college coaches are going to come. So that's what we try to do, is put our kids in areas where college coaches will be so we can try to work towards getting their school paid for. I think it also prepares us for the OAA Red, which is top 3 conferences in the state, barring none. So playing these tough early non-league schedules helps us when we go in and we have to play the Ferndales, the North Farmingtons, the Clarkstons. It prepares us to be ready for those competitions.
All but 2 teams in the OAA Red last season had over 500 records. West Bloomfield ultimately finishing in that division 11-1 in a championship tie with North Farmington, looking to bounce back and do that once again in 2024. Coach Arnett Jordan is with us on the Splash Live. Another minute or so with you before we'll let you go, Coach. So before I do, obviously your goal is to win a state championship, to win the OAA Red, to be able to compete deep into March. But beyond the basic goals that every team is going to have, what do you define a successful 2024-25 season for this basketball team?
Well, obviously only one person can win a state championship, so that's everybody's goal. However, I feel like I'm successful when I'm helping raise young men to be, positive people off the court. And if we do our best, I can be okay with us losing if we do our best. And that's what we're pushing these kids to, these student athletes to go out and play their hardest and play their best and work together and learn teamwork and learn camaraderie and learn how to motivate other people, because those are the lifelong lessons that you take with you once you graduate from high school and move over to the world where you're in a trade or you're in college. Those are things that teach you what you need or the tools to be successful in your life.
Only a small percentage of players go on to play college basketball, especially at an elite level in Division I, or have a chance to go on and eventually maybe play some pro ball. But every player on that court for West Bloomfield and all of its opponents has an opportunity to learn some valuable life lessons each and every day as they practice and as they play together. Coach Jordan, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Good luck.
Good luck to you as well, and go Lakers in the 2024-25 season. WestBloomfieldAthletics.com is the website to see their entire schedule and follow along with their progress all throughout the season. The WestBloomfieldAthletics.com, again, is that website as we root on the Lakers and other local teams here in Greater West Bloomfield throughout this season. Each and every day in the city of Keego Harbor, you have an opportunity to take an escape and go out to City Hall and visit Rose Sorter Park. Get engulfed in nature, a nice quiet environment that gets you away from the hustle and bustle of everyday life. Soon, that place will become a winter wonderland as they convert Rose Sorter Park and its iconic gazebo into a winter festival for the holiday season, and a great place for everyone to gather with their families and with their friends in the heart of the lakes. Joining us for more information on the big celebration that kicks it all off is Leslie Clark from Keego Harbor Parks and Recreation. Leslie, thank you so much for your time today.
Hi, Tyler. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
Good.
Glad to have you on to talk about this too, because this is a relatively newer tradition in Keego Harbor, but got rave reviews in the past couple of years as you've turned the back area of Keego Harbor City Hall, or Rose Sorter Park, into a winter wonderland. Take us back to the beginning of this and where this idea sort of came from to turn that park into something special for the holiday season.
That's a great picture from last year. That's very nice. We used to have a big event inside the Department of Public Works warehouse, and it was a Santa event, and we transformed the inside of that building throughout the cop cars and the backhoes, and just lit it all up, and it was mayhem. It was a lot of fun, and then COVID hit, so we didn't do anything in 2020, and in 2021 we decided to move it outdoors and make it last all month. So we started with all the leftover light strings from inside DPW and just used our imagination and lit up the park. And we've made it a little bigger and fancier and more stable every year. This is our 4th year. And we leave it up all month. But for the kickoff, we just have a 1-hour get together with heat and light and giving. That's the theme for the season. So it's kind of an all-inclusive event. And we needed light, we needed heat, and we partnered with the Open Door, that's called, Open Door Outreach organization. They're over on Cooley Lake Road, and I know they support a lot of our residents. And so we take food donations and we give out gifts. So this Friday. It's only from 6 to 7. Sometimes it rains, sometimes it's really cold. But 6 to 7, there's a blast at the park. We turn on the lights, we cook hot dogs, we make s'mores, there's music, there's gifts for the kids. The West Bloomfield Public Library comes with their community outreach organization. Emily comes, she'll have a takeaway home project craft to give out to all the kids. I have to say, this is set up by volunteers.
Yeah.
So this might not be the spectacle that you'll see in some bigger communities, but it's big for Keego Harbor. It's really pretty. You can catch a glimpse of it when you drive by Cass Lake Road off in the distance. Take a detour, drive around the block, turn up Schroeder in front of Gino's and just drive around the block, and you'll want to go around again. It looks so pretty.
Yeah, it does.
And people walk their dogs there every night too. So it's open dusk to dawn. It's lit up.
it's a really fantastic display, and it's there every year. As you said, you keep it up really through the end of the holiday season and into the new year before those lights ultimately get taken back down. But what you said was a really good point. It's ran by volunteers. It's a relatively short event to kick it all off, but what's important about it is it brings people together in Keego Harbor in a season where, look, it's easy for us to say it's cold outside. I don't want to get out and about. I don't want to walk around the community. I'm going to stay inside for a few months, and I'll see you all in March or April.
Spring,
so
right?
what does that add to something like this, to get people together as we get ready for the busy holiday season and give them an opportunity to maybe meet some people and have some fun even in the cold weather?
People enjoy it. This is Keego Harbor. So if we have 50 to 75 people come to one of our events, we're delighted. And we do that even when it's cold and raining, they show up. And last year we gave out those foam light sticks.
Yeah.
Kids love them. They become part of the display. When they're running around that path around the pond, you're standing over at the gazebo and they become part of the display. It's just really sweet. There's music, there's s'mores. You can make your own s'mores. There's hot chocolate from Tim Hortons. So people just seem to really enjoy standing around and visiting and watching the kids run around the path. And I'll tell you, I'm there every night checking for lights out and that kind of thing. And there's always somebody there. Every night there's somebody there. And they're just so pleased to take that. It's only a 900-foot walk around that pond. And they just love it. So we're looking forward to it again this year.
It's a fantastic way to get people together, to get the kids out there too and have some fun in the city of Keego Harbor, but also brings a certain light to the town also, because while it's a very vibrant community that does find its way to stay together and find new ways to engage with one another all throughout the year, as we said, it can be really tough in the winter to do that and get outdoors and enjoy the beauty of the community. So as you talk about the light displays, and you maintain them, others in Parks and Rec will maintain them over the course of the month of December. What goes into the design of it? Because we saw some of those pictures. This is not some simple, we're hanging lights around the gazebo and we're calling it a night. These are pretty elaborate and pretty creative.
Well, thank you, because that was me. That's me with my Google Maps and the real wheelie stick that you run around and you measure and you try to make reality match up with the light strings you have on hand, which come in various lengths, and a few break down every year and we buy a few more. We're trying to make it simpler to install and maintain, but it's still just a lot of work. And sometimes it's really cold, but we have hand warmers, we keep it going. And as we make it simpler to stand up and take down, it'll be less work. But I think it's pretty. I haven't seen all the light displays in the world, but we've got arches. If you can walk under lit arches, if you can see them from, a couple blocks away, it's nice. It's low cost. It's just work.
But it's ultimately bringing an attraction to the city of Keego Harbor. It gets people out and about and exploring their community, and others seeing a little bit of what's so special about the heart of the lakes. Leslie Clark is with us from Keego Harbor. Parks and Recreation, their Winter Wonderland Park officially launches on Friday, December 6th. You can join them out at Rose Sorter Park, just behind Keego Harbor City Hall, from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. for that special celebration. Leslie, you mentioned it earlier on. It's not just a celebration of the winter holiday season. It's also a way for the community to give back even to some of their neighbors with donations to Open Door Outreach Center. You mentioned it. Many people in Keego Harbor do tap into these resources that are vital. They provide food and other necessities at this time of the year. And in past years, I know that these donations haven't just been accepted on a Wonderland Park night, but also beyond that. What's going to be the timeline for those donations in 2024?
That's the same this year. There will be a box at City Hall, at the front door of City Hall, and it'll be emptied nightly or daily by the City Hall staff. And Parks and Rec volunteers take those things over to Open Door Outreach. So you can drop off things anytime during the month of December, and they will be well received by your neighbors.
And that's another great way to give back and to help people in your community right here in Greater West Bloomfield in the city of Keego Harbor and beyond. A great way to extend the love from in the heart of the lakes to out to neighboring communities as well. Leslie Clark is with us from Keego Harbor Parks and Recreation as we get ready for the Winter Wonderland Park kicking off this Friday from 6 to 7 p.m. Leslie, before we let you go, anything else that people should know or maybe be looking forward to with this celebration of the holiday season?
Well, we have hot dogs and we have not dogs. And we have vegan marshmallows for those who prefer them, I hear. And if you don't want to cook your own, Chef Paul will be manning the grill and will cook them for you. So come see us on Friday.
It'll be a fantastic celebration. If you don't have a chance to get out there on Friday, you'll have a few weeks to enjoy it as well, as those lights will be on anytime, really, it gets dark in the heart of the lakes. Always some light left at Rose Sorter Park. Leslie, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you, Tyler.
Appreciate it. More information on everything happening in the city of Keego Harbor and ways you can get involved in this kind of fun and activity for you and yours throughout the holiday season and beyond can be found on KeegoHarbor.org. We'll take a break on the Splash Live. Plenty of other ways that you can give back this holiday season from right here in Greater West Bloomfield. We'll have more details on that coming up. Live, local, social. It's the Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM.
We'll be right back with the Splash Live. This is Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. On cable and the radio. On the web too, and on social media. Civic Center TV, television that's close to home.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Good nutrition can help make sure you have enough iron, calcium, and vitamin C in your body, which can make it harder for lead to enter your bloodstream. Help protect your family from the harmful effects of lead.
Want to enjoy Civic Center TV on your social media? Find us on Instagram at Civic Center TV. Get notified when we upload one of our interviews, full episodes, and more. Thank you for watching and listening to Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. And now, back to the Splash Live.
Live, local, social, it's the Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. I'm Tyler Kieft, thanking you for joining me and for joining our whole team each and every day throughout your week for the latest updates on everything going on across the Greater West Bloomfield area. If you're just tuning in, you missed some of our programming, or you want to stay tuned on your time all throughout your busy day, CivicCenterTV.com is the place to go. You can also follow us on social media. Facebook at Civic Center TV 15. You can follow us as well on YouTube, Instagram, and on X at Civic Center TV for even more information and updates from across the Greater West Bloomfield area. Well, we're now beyond the Thanksgiving holiday, which means it's full steam ahead to the end of the year. The gift-giving holidays are ahead of us, and as we think about giving gifts to our loved ones, to our kids, to our extended family, we also want to take some time to think about giving back to others that maybe are not in as fortunate of a position as we are all throughout our area and beyond. Helping you bridge those gaps is the West Bloomfield Township Fire Department, who for the 11th consecutive year is leading the charge with a local Toys for Tots holiday toy drive. Joining us is their coordinator for their 11th annual drive, Chris Mars, on today's edition of the Splash Live. Chris, thank you so much for being with us.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Glad to have you on to talk about this because this is the 11th annual Toys for Tots drive with the West Bloomfield Fire Department. You got distribution areas throughout the Greater West Bloomfield community at this time. Take us through this drive, what you're looking for, and why the fire department is doing this again for now the 11th year.
Well, just some history of it. I've had friends in the fire department and other departments in the area and down by where I live that have done Toys for Tots for many years, and it's always been very successful. I didn't really see too many programs out in West Bloomfield. There are businesses here and there that are scattered that do it, but I thought it'd be a great idea to have the fire department start a campaign collection. And in 2013 is what our first year was, and it's been great. Every year has been bigger and bigger, and the community is showing its commitment to each other and helping each other out. And it's been fantastic every year.
We know those that are familiar with Toys for Tots know that they're distributing gifts to children all throughout Metro Detroit and beyond during the holiday season, giving them that gift of love and those gifts that maybe they're seeing other kids receiving, and for reasons completely out of their control, they may not be able to experience themselves. But from here in Greater West Bloomfield, what have you seen as be sort of the driving force behind this over the years, and especially as it has grown, as you said, over these last 11 years, and the participation has been there from our community?
I just think the more people that are aware of families in the area that might need help, the more community comes together to just start giving and being kind and to help each other out. That's what it's all about. With Toys for Tots is just helping people who might be in a less fortunate situation this year or in years past. I just think the more people that see and give, and the more feedback we give about how great this is for our community, the more people give, and it's been very generous. The toys stay in Oakland County, but more so for us, they will stay in the Greater West Bloomfield area for families of all faiths to be able to receive gifts this year for children, all the way from babies all the way to teens.
And we know we have a very giving community here that engages with our local organizations during the holiday season. We think about groups like the Optimist Clubs in Keego Harbor and West Bloomfield, the Jacket Club in Keego Harbor that does a lot of these sort of efforts and expands that out to food and to groceries and to other necessities this holiday season. Our community gives back to itself and to others when they're in their times of need. And so if people want to engage in this, they want to donate these toys, what are you looking for this year, and where can people make these donations?
Toys for Tots always requests new unopened toys. They request no stuffed animals, but they will accept them, but they prefer not stuffed animal toys. Stuff anywhere from babies all the way through teens. A lot of the times teens seem to be the ones that are most forgotten. They'll have the less opportunity to receive toys and crafts and games and that kind of thing. They also ask that there is no weapon type toys, no guns or swords or anything like that. But you can drop them off at West Bloomfield Fire Station 1 at 4601 Orchard Lake Road by the high school. You can drop it off at Fire Station 5 at 5425 West Maple Road. And you can also drop off in the lobby of Town Hall on Walnut Lake Road.
And these distributions, these drop-offs will continue to happen all throughout the coming weeks here in the Greater West Bloomfield area. So those 3 different drop-off locations gives you some options and different times of day that you can drop off these toys. And again, as he had said, they're looking for new toys in these cases. And if you can limit them to not being stuffed animals or anything that's a toy weapon, that is very much appreciated. Chris Mars is the coordinator for the 11th annual Toys for Tots Drive at the West Bloomfield Fire Department. You can learn more information on this on their Facebook page at WB Fire Department for even more and to get those exact locations of this. So Chris, having been involved for this for the 11 years that this drive's been ongoing, and seeing not only the fervor from the community to provide these gifts to kids during the holiday season, what's the reaction been like? What's the response been like from both the organization that you're donating to, Toys for Tots, and ultimately those down the line that are going to be having their kids receive these gifts during the holidays?
That's been very receptive. Toys for Tots, Oakland County, the Southwest area, they've saw a need for this area, and they're very appreciative of our collection. And our collection has actually spawned other collection sites, different departments in the Southwest Oakland County area. It's been very receptive. The fire department has seen the increase in toys over the years, and we've got feedback from families in the area that show just great appreciation for what this means to them, and how if this drive wasn't started in this area, they may not have had a great holiday for their families. So overall, it's been very receptive.
And as a firefighter, as someone that is heavily involved in the community, that sees every corner of Greater West Bloomfield and interacts with all different areas of our community, why is an effort like this important for you and for your fellow firefighters and paramedics here in Greater West Bloomfield?
It's just kind of natural for what we do as firefighters, paramedics. We love to help out our community. We love to see people succeed. We love just to overall bring joy and help people and when they're in their worst situation or they're very down. So it's just kind of a natural progression for what we do from fire and EMS to giving back to the community.
Chris Mars is with us from the West Bloomfield Fire Department, who is the lead coordinator on their 11th annual Toys for Tots toy drive with distributions at fire stations 1 and 5, as well as West Bloomfield Town Hall. Chris, before we let you go, anything else that people should know about this drive or any other information that may be helpful as you put forth this effort for the 11th consecutive year?
Not too much. We also accept Toys for Tots accepts checks written out to Marine Corps Toys for Tots Foundation if you so choose to write a check as opposed to donating a toy. Those can be dropped off at any of the locations, and the contacts there have been instructed to forward those checks to me. Then I will forward them on to Toys for Tots Southwest Oakland County.
A great opportunity for people to give back this holiday season and, of course, to help other people across our local area, especially the kids who so much of this time of the year they're seeing their friends and others in their schools receiving gifts and coming in the next day to all the excitement after the holiday season. It's not the case for everybody, and so every little donation can count. And so several different drop-off locations all across the Greater West Bloomfield area. You can get even more updates and information on the Toys for Tots drive from the West Bloomfield Fire Department on their Facebook page at WB Fire Department. Just before the Thanksgiving holiday, West Bloomfield Parks had a chance to put forth some special family time for mothers and sons right here in Greater West Bloomfield, giving them an opportunity to spend some special time together before the hustle and bustle of the holidays and around everything else that goes on in day-to-day life. Our reporter Jake Schaff has the story.
With the holidays right around the corner, family time is one of the most important focal points of the season. And recently, West Bloomfield Parks put on the High Tops and High Heels event, inviting moms from all across the community to spend some time and dance the night away with their sons. I spoke with some of the moms of the community at this event and heard what they have to say about what this event means to them and what this quality time means for their relationship with their little boys.
Oh, I think it's so cute. I think it's a really cool outlet for moms and sons to kind of have a bonding experience and have a good time. So I think it's great. He's over the moon. He's like ecstatic that it's just me and him because I have 4 kids. So it's a lot going on in the house, and my husband and I are always kind of tackling and tag teaming the kids. But when it's just me and him, he's very excited.
What made you decide to want to come out here tonight?
We've been doing this for a few years now and just like to come out and make memories with them. We've been enjoying ourselves, coming out dancing, meeting new families. So it's something that we look forward to. I tell people about these types of events all the time and recommend something like this every year.
Oh, it's a fun time just to get out, the two of us, and just enjoy an evening, have a nice dinner and dance and show off Alexander's dance moves. He loves it. They had balloons this evening, and I mean, he loves to dance at home, so he was very excited for tonight. It really is a nice event because it does prioritize that family time, and fun's the most important thing, getting out and just enjoying time with the kids. So,
what does an event like this mean to you and mean to the community?
I think it's fun to get all together with a bunch of different people that maybe you don't know. They don't go to your school. They don't live in quite your neighborhood, but you all have boys and you all like to dance and eat and get together and have fun.
How did this event come about?
I would say for the past 7 years or so, we've been incorporating mother-son dances along with daddy-daughter dances to West Bloomfield Parks in order to get the families an equal opportunity to have a special evening out with their little ones. I think this event allows for moms and sons to really take the pressure off of the holiday season and enjoy just a special evening together out and about, where they can get a professional portrait taken and enjoy the photo booth and just really create memories that aren't so so holiday focused.
I think they're a great idea because for he and I, it's about tradition. So building traditions year after year so that when he's 18 and he's leaving me to go away to college, he can look back and say, me and my mom always had a special time for just being her. And it was dances, it was parties, it was different events. So it's great.
And what would you say to families who are interested in checking out this event for themselves?
Oh, I think it's a great experience for moms and sons to kind of bond and have that one event throughout the year that they have to look forward to that is just about them too. It's great.
It's a beautiful thing to see all across the community as so many local residents are making countless memories with their families and treasuring them for a lifetime. For Civic Center TV, I'm Jake Schaff.
Appreciate the report from Jake and all that West Bloomfield Parks is doing to help bring people together this holiday season, as well as our other local parks and recreation communities in Sylvan Lake, in Orchard Lake, and in Keego Harbor as well. If you want to see more pictures from the mother-son dance, their high tops and high heels dance party that they had just before the Thanksgiving holiday, or learn more about upcoming events, wbparks.org. And of course on Facebook, you can also find them at WB Parks. This time of the year, there's so many different ways to give back, whether it's spending time volunteering to help those in need throughout the holiday season or making donations to local organizations. For one local nonprofit, they take their food pantry day-to-day work and turn it into also a holiday donation drive this time of the year as well, when Hospitality House becomes Holiday House across the Greater West Bloomfield area and beyond. Here with us for more information is the Executive Director of Hospitality House Food Pantry, Susan Erspalmer, on the Splash Live. Susan, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you so much for having me here.
Happy to have you on to talk about your Holiday House initiative, seeking donations for your annual event that happens around the holidays each and every year. Now, this differs a little bit from what you do day to day, collecting non-perishable food items to provide to those in need in Greater West Bloomfield and beyond. What is the Holiday House fundraiser? How does that differ from what you're traditionally trying to get donated from the public?
Yeah, at our Holiday House that we have here annually, it's for our clients that we have at the pantry. And our clients that have children under the age of 18, we give them each a $25 gift card so they can go out shopping for their child. We give them hats and mittens. And a complete meal box for Christmas dinner that they can have with their family. So it's something we do every year here. The families enjoy coming in. We set up toys around the room to have a toy raffle so the parents can look at the different toys that they think their children might be interested in, all the way from young to teenage, put a raffle ticket and win those as well. So they'll leave with gift cards, a meal, and a chance to win more.
And it's putting a lot together for people that are in need of these items at this time of the year, or even are just in a position where these kinds of care packages from their own community can really be the difference maker between their holiday being happy and being about what we think the holidays are all about, or being a struggle for them. So as you're putting this together, as you're looking to put these different packages together for your Hospitality House clients, what are you looking for in terms of donations from the general public?
You went out there a little bit, but what we're looking for from the general public, is that what you asked me for?
Yes.
Yeah, we're looking for support. So all the way from donations so that we can purchase these gift cards and hats, mittens, gloves, all of those types of items, as well as volunteering. Hospitality House exists because of our volunteers. So we're very volunteer driven. So between the support of donating hats, toys, cash donations, of course, are always wanted, and volunteers.
And we know that this is becoming even more of a necessity in our community than it's been in past years. Just from your own statistics from Hospitality House, you served about 830 some odd households in 2022. Fast forward to this year, and your projections have been over 2,000 households, which is over 5,000 individuals. And so it's not necessarily that it's more important that these donations come in 2024, but it seems like these donations go even further this year than they have in years past.
Yes, food insecurity is on the rise. In the past 2 years, we've had a 150% increase in demand for the services that we offer. So yeah, the need this year, we want everybody to have a good holiday season. So the need this year has increased 150%, and we want to continue to be able to meet this demand in our community and beyond. So the support is very important so we can continue to meet our mission and provide services to those in need.
Susan Erspalmer is the Executive Director of Hospitality House Food Pantry, who's now transitioning to Holiday House for their fundraiser for December of 2024 as we go into the holiday season and try to not only continue to provide the food that is needed for those facing food insecurity in our communities, but also build their holiday spirit up a little bit more by giving them some of those holiday necessities on top of all of that. More information can be found on hhfp.org. Again, that is hhfp.org for more information on this and other ways you can support Hospitality House Food Pantry going forward. And Susan, you see this as the executive director, and your staff and your volunteers see just how much of an impact that this has on these families. But looking back into the past years as you've ran this fundraiser and provided these packages to your clients, just what is that impact ultimately when someone in Greater West Bloomfield makes these donations and someone else in Greater West Bloomfield receives these?
Yeah, the impact is huge. The impact is huge. Things that we take for granted in our life, buying gifts, hats, mittens, gloves. A lot of us take that for granted, and being able to offer these parents the opportunity to go out shopping to buy what they know their kids would like with these gift cards, while at the same time providing them food to have a great meal. It's staggering the impact. What we hear from parents and caregivers, and then ultimately the children, is how it made a happy December for them for whatever holiday that they're celebrating.
And for you and for your team as individuals who are working on the front lines with these individuals and with these families each and every day, how does it make your work providing these services throughout the rest of the year maybe a little bit easier or a little bit easier to navigate when you have these varying and complicated situations that people and their families are in?
Yeah, it helps us a great deal with the year-round support that we get. For example, we just did our Thanksgiving meal where we gave away boxes that contained everything for a Thanksgiving meal as well as a turkey. And last year we had 360 families. This year we had over 550. And people coming through and getting the turkey and the meal, there were tears. There was, a lot of gratitude that we feel as staff and as volunteers. We know we're making an impact. And given the support of the community, Greater West Bloomfield and beyond, it allows us to continue what we did for Thanksgiving, what we can do for Holiday House, and what we do here every day at Hospitality House Food Pantry.
More information on this fundraiser can be found in a couple of different places, hhfp.org. And you can also follow Hospitality House Food Pantry on their Facebook page at HH Food Pantry for more information on these donations and other ways you can get involved all throughout the year. They're right down the road from us in Greater West Bloomfield in Commerce Road on Maple Road. Susan Erspalmer is with us, their executive director, as their Holiday House fundraiser is underway as we speak. Again, if people want to get involved, how can they get involved to make these donations? Where should they be dropped off, or how can they contribute for this particular fundraiser?
Yeah, if you log on to hhfp.org, there's various ways. You can pay by credit card online. You can pay by Venmo, mail a check to us. Like you said, we're on 2075 East West Maple Road in Commerce. So there's a variety of ways you can reach out to us or stop by and see us. We'd love to show you around our pantry.
And Susan, as people consider their ways to give back this holiday season, why is this the perfect way for them to not only give back, but make sure that they are giving back to people that maybe are their neighbors or are right next door to them here in their community in Greater West Bloomfield?
Yeah, they are their neighbors. So we have a lot of people that come to us from West Bloomfield, Commerce, Walled Lake, Wixom, even Novi. So by giving back this particular program, you're providing a meal, you're providing toys, you're providing parents an opportunity to go out and shop, and you're providing hats, mittens, and gloves for this cold weather that is already upon us here in Michigan. So it's the package that you referred to. You're having a huge impact in the lives of those that need our support.
Again, more information can be found on hhfp.org or by following them on Facebook at HH Food Pantry. They also just gave out over 550 meals for Thanksgiving, looking to give a little bit of the same holiday cheer back as we get toward the end of the 2024 calendar year. Susan Erspalmer is with us, their executive director. Before we wrap up, Susan, anything else that people should know about this fundraiser or other ways they can get involved in the near future?
Yeah, like I said, besides giving financially, we're always looking for volunteers. So please reach out to me and reach out to Hospitality House. We'd love to have you here, of course, with the donations for this program, but as well as for volunteering year-round. And look for us for our spring event on March 12th coming up this next year, too.
Plenty more ways to get involved all throughout the year. And as you're looking to give back this holiday season, you have many ways that you can impact your neighbors right here in Greater West Bloomfield and just outside of our community as well. Susan, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much.
Susan Erspalmer, the Executive Director of Hospitality House Food Pantry. One more time, hhfp.org is the website to learn more about what they're looking for, what items you can donate, how to donate those items or give financial contributions, and help them with their efforts to help yourself and your neighbors right here in Greater West Bloomfield throughout the holidays. We'll take one final break here on the Splash Live. Some more important information for you to keep in consideration as the weather gets colder and you get out on the roads during this busy season in Greater West Bloomfield. Live, local, social. It's the Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM.
We'll be right back with the Splash Live. What people are watching in West Bloomfield. Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM.
I'm Gina Gregory, president of the Greater West Bloomfield Historical Society. I'm excited that Civic Center TV has reached 1 million views on YouTube. Congratulations. That's just terrific. We appreciate everything Civic Center does for the Greater West Bloomfield Historical Society and the community. For us, they promote and highlight our events. It's awesome to have them available 24/7 on YouTube. I'm Gina Gregory and proud to be one in a million.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
Find local municipal meetings at our program schedule on civiccentertv.com. Find when your meetings air live or when they're replaying on our Civic Center TV live stream. Find it all at civiccentertv.com and click schedule at the top of the screen. And now, back to the Splash Live.
Live, local, social, it's the Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. I'm Tyler Kieft, thanking you for joining me today as we go through the latest happening in the Greater West Bloomfield area. Just a couple minutes left. I want to remind you, earlier on in the program, we told you about a special event kicking off the holidays in Keego Harbor on Friday at Rose Sorter Park as they kick off their Winter Wonderland Park. The holiday theme continues over the weekend. On December 7th, a special Christmas cookie exchange is happening in Keego Harbor. That is happening on Knowlson Street in Keego. More information on that can be found on the So Keego Facebook page. Happening on Saturday from 4 to 5 p.m. You want to RSVP by using that email you see on your screen on civiccentertv.com. Otter Beach 334. It's Otter like the animal. Otter Beach 334 at gmail.com. Bring your best cookies and your holiday cheer for some fun in the heart of the lakes with some friendly neighbors from Keego Harbor and beyond. Finally, this time of the year, we're wrapping up those holiday bills and, of course, those utilities having a big impact with the colder weather coming into play. So you may get some visits from local utility workers. Here's some information to keep you in the know about what to expect if you do have any interactions with them on your property. It's especially important given some scary incidents recently across Oakland County. DTE is reminding customers to stay cautious when with those claiming to be DTE employees visiting your home. They'll always verify their identity by showing you their badge and confirming their purpose for being there. And usually DTE or other utilities like Consumers Energy will even tell you that they're going to be on site by calling you or otherwise sending you some correspondence before they go out there. If at any point you are unsure about whether or not these individuals are with DTE or Consumers, for DTE in particular, you can call them directly at 800-477-4747. Again, that's 800-477-4747 for more information. And plenty more helpful tips on this subject can be found on the Facebook page of the West Bloomfield Police Department at West Bloomfield PD. That's going to do it for today's edition of The Splash Live. I want to thank you for tuning in and thank our entire team, Jake Schaff out in the field and Calvin Brown at Master Control. For our entire team at Civic Center TV, I'm Tyler Kieft. Thank you for tuning in to The Splash Live.